Hey, yo, everybody! Car, Arblade, Eduardo, Zeus, what's up, everybody? Welcome. Let me adjust this music. I guess it's fine. How are you guys doing today? Today? It seems like that the event has arrived. What did you guys do? The event. I am currently not in a rush. The event is like 6 days and I don't have enough gems right now. So I am not gonna be doing the event today. Maybe in a couple of days where I have enough gems. There's two things that I wanted to do. First, I want to dismantle this, but this is costing me a little bit of gems. And the second thing, this is kind of like optional. I could change the crit to cavalry, but this is another 12,000 gems. So oh, wait. No. Yeah, 14,000 gems. I mean, I could do this, but then again, I mean, eventually my drums will crit anyways, so I guess this is like optional. It's not really a mistake or something like that. Bad Bolt, what's up? Oh, welcome. Malik, welcome. Something amazing about to be cooked. Oh yeah, man, so the Echelon formation, right? The Echolon or Echelon? How do you read this? So this civilized thingy might be like, it might be insane, might be not. The other day, who was it? I think, yeah, Pulley. I pinned his chat to remember this. So Pulley was, asking me about like, about the Echelon, right? And I was like, I've never really paid attention to Echelon, but he was saying that, yo, is it gonna be worth it, right? And I was like, this is my initial analysis that I did, and I tried to compare the rage generation specifically. I have not really looked into the other legendary inscriptions, but I tried to compare the rage generation to horn and drums, and my initial conclusion was like it wasn't really worth it. And then I realized, like, can it show the... No, it doesn't show the timestamps anymore. And then for a couple of hours, what happened was I was just thinking about Echelon, right? Or Echelon. Echelon. So I was thinking about Echelon, and I realized that my initial analysis was a little bit wrong. It wasn't correct. So I reanalyzed and I was like, yo, wait a second. The civilized is actually kind of like insane amount of rage generation potential. And it was worthy of taking a look into this formation. I am not sure how I'm gonna analyze this, but we'll get there, man. We'll get there. It's quite tough, man. It's quite tough. The problem here, like analyzing this kind of stuff, is like there's like the open field is unpredictable, right? And this 25 rage gained, is it gonna be enough to make a difference? That is the question. But we can kind of like assume things, like we can make some assumptions. And this Echelon or Echelon, this might be insane. And I have something in my mind how I'm gonna be doing this. And also we can kind of like reach in the conclusion that if civilized is kind of insane, then how many marches you need to run, also what kind of commanders you need to be running in order to get you know, advantage of this. Well, obviously, if you're running like one march with Echelon, right, then that doesn't make sense. If you're running only one march, then it's better to play like Wedge, Do, Pincer, or Delta, right? But just for support march. So we'll take a look into this. It's something interesting. The rage gain potential is insane. And you know me, you guys. I love rage. Open field, the rage is everything. Rage is everything. Movement speed is everything. Tankiness is everything on open field. Let's see. They didn't give it to pre-Season of Conquest Kingdom. So annoyed, especially as my KD is 7 days away from being Season of Conquest. Oh my god, man. Tribal guy, that's... I wonder if they are gonna be giving it to later. Also, I wonder if they are gonna make this event annual event. If they make this annual event, that is going to be great. That is going to be great. Annually, it's like this equipment is gonna be great. I would 100% vote for annual equipment fixing, because everybody makes mistake. Every new player will make a mistake at some point. Even, you know, there's many videos out there, you know, guide videos. Like, I have equipment, everything covered. I have a playlist, but you know, there's a chance that they might not watch it, right? So yeah, looks worth. Will you not have 2 cav Delta if you start March 6? I don't know, man, Inaki. I don't know. It is going to all depend on what is the civilized is gonna get us in terms of value. If this is like a very high value, I might consider making one more march that is that is a civilized. But then again, it's a big question, because that march is gonna end up being a support march. Yo, Daddy Warbox, check my DM in game. Thanks for the super chat. I shall check it very soon. Hey yo, Chiss is here. Just got here. What's going on with Echolon? We need to see, man. There might be really good potential with civilized. I mean, I know Chiss actually uses Echelon, civilized. But personally, me, I never really paid attention to this civilized, right? I never really paid attention to this Echelon formation until there was somebody asked me in the chat that he was, you know, hey, how about Echelon? Right? And in order to answer his question, I ended up trying to do some calculation, and you look at this. Wait, I just realized something. If you're running 7 marches and your 7th march support march, the Echelon formation comes really close to drums in terms of generating rage. It might be giving you more rage, depending on the commander. So yeah, so today we shall, yeah, so here I'm just talking with myself, right? I'm just talking with myself, calculating and everything, and I was like, yo, wait a second, the rage output is actually more. The rage output is actually more. And I was like, yo, did we just discover something crazy? You know, you do know I've been using this specifically for years. Yeah. Yeah, I've been, you know, when I watch Chiss videos, he, you know, talks about civilized, right? But I just personally did not really pay attention to this. So let's see, like, what conclusion we can reach today with this Echelon formation. And let's see if we can cook something. It depends. Initially, I think it's gonna depend on the commander itself. We have quite a bit of amount of task at our hand, and I have, guys, honestly, I have no idea what the other like what these does. I have no idea what the others give. So we will discover together. Phillips will be praying with you then. Yeah, definitely Philip. And maybe someone else. Like pure support march is gonna be a little bit iffy, right? That march needs to be doing some sort of damage as well as buffing, so we shall see. Philip Baichi before that, Philip Ragnar. Yeah, so Philip and then 1 damage march, right? So the other guy was talking about, what he was saying is he was talking about the potential with Joan and Philip. Because Joan is buffing marches and then Joan is recasting her skill as well as Philip, right? They're just both spamming their skill. I mean, together they are like not gonna do well because of they are spamming their skill. And I mean, Chis also explained this before. Due to the 1 second of an internal cooldown, they end up silencing themselves, right? But if like similar march with Joan and Philip, consistently giving guaranteed AoE rage, right? Isn't that like insane? Isn't that insane? Like Joan and Philip. So Philip, whenever their troop grants allied troops a buff, right? Any buff, extra rage or healing. Also, this means Shajar is a good candidate, right? So Philip, Shajar, open field. I guess they're not gonna be doing as much damage, right? But yeah, the affected troops instantaneously gain 25 rage. Can trigger once per second for each troop. So this is gaining once per second for each troop. Yeah, once per second for each troop. So because the active skill does have an internal cooldown, like it doesn't really matter. You are not gonna be getting like double amount of rage in 1 second, but you can gain 25 rage. Like if you have 2 skill cycle, that's 50 rage, right? Primary commander and secondary commander, that's already 50 rage. And then if you have like commander like Philip or Joan that is spamming the skill, that's like every 2 or 3 seconds, every one of your commanders are gaining 25 rage. And how is that? Isn't that crazy? Chis have Echolon. Yes, Chis does have Echolon. Daddy Warbucks, let me check out your chat. Where is it? Okay. Hey, Delicta, what piece of equipment should I dismantle? 5 horn, 5 ring, 5 horn, 2 drums. Was thinking about swapping a ring for a drum. And you do have 6 marches. Let's see. One drum is on Chinshuhuan. I guess the other drum is on cavalry. Yes. I mean, War Daddy Buck. I mean, with this event, I could actually do that. I could, get 1 more drums and have 1 less ring. I could do that. That means you are having 3 drums, right? Yes, 3 drums is going to be equal because combo commanders are proccing drums more. It's equal to like 1.5, having 1.5 drums. So if you have 2 drums, that means it's multiplied into having like 3 or a little bit more. So you are basically running 4 to 5 drums on 6 march because 2 of them are on combo. Yeah, so Yeah. I could do that. I could do that. Yo, Cortex is here as well. You're Chisco. I'm a big fan. What's up, everybody? Yes, I think drum or other rage sources you may have will be determined factor on civilized value. Guys, have you guys checked out the Civil's latest video? He made like 2 or 3 minutes of a very short video of what is the actual reality on open field in terms of your skill cycle. And if you notice that, like your rage bar, right? When you are fighting on open field, your rage bar literally goes down. If you are not engaged with the enemies, right? You're just, you know, going back and forth, being disengaged. Your rage bar is going down. That's how much insane rage reduction effects nowadays on open field. So yeah, rage is becoming more important in my opinion. Sensei Rock, welcome to the kitchen crew, man. Thanks for the membership. I saw it, yeah, very enlightening. Yes. If you guys haven't seen, go see Civil video. It's only 2 or 3 minutes, and he is just, you know, enlightening us. Let's see what the, oh my god, chat is here as well. Everybody is here. What's up, you guys? Welcome. Hope you guys are having a good day. My guys, everybody is here. What's with it? We haven't started yet, man. We need to do some calculation. So it's still on theoretical level, so I just wanted to fire up the stream and start trying to calculate the value of civilized. Let me actually check out the other legendary stuff as well. Again, I have never paid attention to Echelon until recently. Let's see. I'm playing Philip primary, and for Archer, Azugulan and Ashurban and Paul with this expertise, very good. Ah, I see. Bad Bolt. Thank you for sharing your experience. Oh, guys, look at that, man. Chad is with the Red Chef's hat for being member of the channel for 14 months. Appreciate you for the continued support, man, Chad. Oh, I got a crit GG level 5. 615 materials return for level 5 greatest glory. Oh my, yo, Sensei, thank you so much for the 10 gifties, man. Guys, welcome to the kitchen crew. Appreciate you. And Daddy Warbuck just got gifted for membership, and we also see Plota Gaming in there as well. Welcome, everybody. Plota slacking. Yes, Plota slacking. Plota is indeed slacking. Have you done this special talent conversion, or do you know how it works? If you haven't talked it earlier in stream, I can watch later. I have not talked about this event. I haven't done this event yet. I will do it later. Not today. Not today. It's in terms of working, it's pretty straightforward. You're just spending gems to change special talents. I feel like Shajara might be a good thing, as you need the march to last, or you don't get the buff. Chad, by the way, Chad, you haven't missed anything, man. I'm trying to just read the chat if I missed anything. Okay. Yes, you play Civilized with Philip, you must have drums on him too. Okay, yeah. Okay, so the drums is, yes. Drums. Okay, drums is gonna increase the chances. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, that is indeed true. I mean, there are other equipments, right? Accessories, but I guess like you don't like craft Moore's web for just for Echelon purposes. I don't think so. Moore's web. Yeah, I don't think, yeah. So this is no. But drums is, yeah, drums is possibility. Let's see. So for 6 march, you need 4 drums if 2 are on delta. Yeah, preferably yes. So what I recommend is you gotta have 5 or 6 drums on 6 marches, right? But that recommendation was before combo commanders. Now, because there is combo commanders, instead of having 5 to 6, you could go with like 4 or 5. Potta is also in the chat. Wait, is this please? Potta is here? Again, Sensei, appreciate you for the 10 gifties. Thank you, man. Legendary scroll on the inscription also buffs. Says called meta. Nah, man. I don't think these equipments. Mora's Web is. Wait. Oh yeah, Mora's Web is applying debuff. Yeah, Set's Call is giving you attack, right? Yeah, I don't think Set's Call is gonna become meta, right? That's gonna be like way going overboard. Okay, so let's see. Let me check here. So troops. Again, guys, I have never paid attention to Echelon before, so let me just review this. 5% boost to rage recovery speed. So on open field, that is going to be like 5 or 6 extra rage per turn. But if there is like a horn proc or drum proc, it's gonna give like 5, 8 more rage. Okay, all right, okay. Whenever the troop launches basic attack, it has 10% chance to increase the attack of 3 nearby allied target troops, not including self, by 15% for 3 seconds. Hold on, 5 seconds. Alright, so it is based on basic attack. I mean, I guess like Arthur Philip, Achilles Philip, or maybe even like you know, we this year in like 4 or 5 months we are expecting some combo commander, right, on the field. Maybe in order to practice more often, maybe. Let's see. Loaded. Increase skill damage resistance by 5%. Whenever it takes damage, the troop has 10% chance to reduce the damage by 15% and gain 20% march speed for 3 seconds. Wow, this is actually nice, man. This is nice. This is nice. On open field, you are taking a lot of little damage, right? Oh my god. Okay, so Joan of Arc with support talent tree, right? The emergency protection. Okay, let's keep that in mind. This is also extremely great talent now because you take a lot of damage on open field. Okay. Echolon formation. So this is giving you much tankiness and movement speed. This is giving you a little bit of rage gain speed, which is going to help. We gotta simulate the rage as well, and civilized counterpart. But what's this? Counterattack damage resistance. So this is absolutely garbage. Counterattack damage resistance. So this is also garbage as well. But this one, whenever troop grants an allied troop buff extra rage or healing, the affected troop instantaneously gain 25 rage. Can trigger once per for each second. Let me read the chat. It says call meta. Yes, no need for more swap. Yeah. My bad, my bad. Drum gang on top, let's go. It's time for a drum update video. Yeah, I guess you guys are right. I made that drums video like almost a year ago, I think. So yeah, we gotta update that. Discord photo. Oh my god, guys, wait, I'll show you something. Let me share the screen. Give me a second. Guys, chat sent me this. What is this? 615 materials for 74,000 gems. This is insane. Thanks for all infos, bro. Freedom. My pleasure, man. My pleasure. If you run Philip primary with drum, Shajar secondary, you have all three ways to hit and launch civilized skill. Yes. Indeed, indeed. Oh my god, you guys. Hold on a second. Okay, so let's not. Okay, let's. Alright, so let's start calculating, okay? Let's be calm, okay? Let us be calm. Where is the yeah, so let me share this. Let's see how things are working. Okay. Let's see. I want to make the screen something like this. Yes, this is nice. And then this. Yes. All right. I want to take this screenshot of this and then just put it there. Just to remind ourselves what we are dealing with. Straight raw dog, 4 refines, 4 awakens. Ah, that is why you're gaining insane amount of mats, man. 605 is just 615 mats is actually, you can make full set of legendary gear and some with 615 materials. That's a lot of materials, man, and also 74k gems is a lot. The things I could do if I had all those mats. Man, eventually you'll get there, man. Eventually you'll get there. Okay, so let's see. So, okay, so let me just set everything up. Philip. Let's give me a second. Give me a second. So we know that there's a lot of RNG, like random stuff happening. So this calculation might not be it is not gonna be like 100% accurate, right? Because open field is an RNG. However, if we like take a really conservative approach, like if we nerf our like a result or conclusion, and even if that's gonna be making a difference, then it's insane. Yeah, 5 nearby allies, and then if expertise, 40% chance to use their active skill second time, and this skill can trigger once every 7 seconds. This is basically, yeah, on average once every two turns. Whenever commander uses their whenever the other commander uses their active skill, 20% chance second time. Okay, so like we can just assume that regardless, right? We might see this once every 2 skill cycle. We can just assume that. Okay, just gotta assume things. So Philip, 5 buffs. Second cast every 2 skill cycle. And remember, skill cycle is usually 7 seconds, right? But nowadays on open field, it's not really 7 seconds because there's many rage reduction. It's actually like 8 or even 9, or sometimes it can go to like 10 seconds of skill cycle. Very slow. You could see that from Seawheel's video. 5. See, I want to take an example with Joan, you guys. So let's take an example with Joan and Philip. Or then we can take example of Philip and Shajar, okay? And then another example is gonna be like Philip and any DPS commander, okay? So the idea here is Joan, Philip, Shajar. These are both like, especially Philip Shajar is like, this is like a full support, right? This is like a full support, low damage march, right? But this is kind of like half damage, half support march. And this is also kind of the similar half damage, half support march. So Joan is buffing 3 march. Just give, where's Joan? Yeah, tier 3 nearby allies. Yo, and then, okay, hold on. And then we are gonna imagine one imaginary commander, okay? And that is Philip with 5 AoE buff commander. Okay, so let's just imagine a commander that is also like exactly the same as Philip, also AoE 5 buffing. We're not gonna be using like Epic Joan here, right? Or Mulan in that sense. I think they are a bit too out of meta, but we're just imagining. So this is 3 buffs. Okay. Let me do this here. So this is like comes, and this is number of buffs, total rage. Okay. 650 matches full set plus accessory, 25 matches to spare. Yo, Chad, are you like, are you gonna stream that? I think definitely you should stream that, man. It's insane. And maybe make a short video out of it. Philip active skill, drum, Shajar, healing. So, guys, And let's do the side notes, okay? Side notes. So yes, Philip is casting his skill like, oh, there's a potential. Also, there is potential of drums, right? Which is buffing 2 extra march. There is a potential. But in order to make our calculation a little bit in a safe zone, let us assume that we are not using drums. We are just relying on the commanders. And if we use drums, it's even better, right? It's even better. So Joan is gonna be giving. Wait, Joan also does not really. This is 10 seconds. Where is it? Yeah, 10 seconds of DD. Man, I feel like every 2 seconds, Joan and Philip is gonna be casting their skill. Unfortunately, I do not really have Philip to just showcase that. But if I'm running Joan and Philip, like they're just spamming their skill, I feel like. And then they're gonna have like, let's say 8 seconds of skill cycle, right? So this is total 75 rage because 3 march is benefiting, and that's 25 rage each. That is 75 rage, and this is 125 rage, right? This is minimum. This is minimum. I just quit drums and picked leadership because of Echelon. My guys, I'm just starting with Echelon, man. I'm just starting with Echelon. You guys have already started making a move. That's insane. Yo, Big Tonka, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Iceman, welcome. Philip is Ferrari with flat engine. He promises a lot, delivers a little. I think it's unlikely he'll ever be good. Yeah, in this case, we are studying the potential of Echolon, right? Philip, of course, he is buffing March, so he needs some good pair. Let's see. Let's see. Is it safe to assume that we are gaining what is this total? Total rage. What is this total? 200. Is it safe to assume that we are gaining 200 rage for total rage for 5 marches every 4 seconds? What do you guys think? Is it safe to assume that we are generating 200 total rage amongst 5 marches, right? 5 marches. That means on average 40 rage each. Average, right? 40 rage each on average. But in reality, it's not gonna be like 40 rage like average. Like 3 of the commanders are gonna be like 3x50, right? And then 2x25. It's gonna be something like this. Is it safe to assume something like this? Because Joan is casting, and then Philip casting, and then Joan casting, and then Philip has a chance to cast. If Philip is not casting, then Joan is gonna cast, and then Philip is gonna cast, and then by the time Philip is also gonna cast, because Philip does have a expertise skill that casts his skill, and then by the time Philip casts, it's time for Joan casting, and then Philip casts, and then Joan casts her skill again, and then Philip. So I feel like Joan and Philip will be casting their skill every 2 seconds, regardless of what they're doing. And having support talent tree is going to help a lot. It is going to ensure to have enough rage to keep casting every 2 seconds. Not to mention that we do have the civilized, in Echelon formation, we do have a 5% boost. Right? 5% boost. John and Philip fires at about 2.2 seconds per skill, been using a long time. Oh, 2.2, that is a very, very specific number. Did you do some simulation? Why in this game there's no sense to be a tank or buffer? Maybe there is, right? That's why we're looking into this. Maybe. I still think better use Trajan, Mulan for boss because they last longer. We can benefit more. Let's see, if you can run Philip primary, it's because you have 6 marches, my opinion. Yes, so the civilized is my initial a very light calculation came into a conclusion that I think you gotta have 6 March, and 6th March will be running Echolon. But I want to look into what if you are running 5 total March and 5th is being buffer March, right? So yeah, so okay, let me just put the side notes up here. Now, so this is a thing. 4 second on average 40 rage. Let's see. On average 40 rage. Wait, on average 40 rage, that means 10 rage per second, right? So we are giving 200 rage every 4 seconds, right? 200 rage every 4 seconds. So if we divide that by 5, that's 40 rage, and then if we divide that by 4, that's 10 rage per second per march. 10 rage per second per march. And this 10 is actually quite close. Where's my drums video? Where's my drums calculation? Echolon. Give me a second. Let me just try to find. Okay, here I horn ring. Okay, no. Where's my drums? We already made a drums video, and that calculation is going to help a lot. Yes. So 10 rage, right? 10 rage on Joan and Philip. Okay, so we are just starting one case. Now horn. This is my previous study. Horn actually generates 14 rage per second on normal commanders. Okay, if this is a combo commander, then it is more, but on just normal commander, anything other than combo, it's 14. And the drums is 12 rage per second, again on normal commanders. All right. So let me put these numbers here. So horn is 14, drums is 12. Okay, where's my Echelon? H. Comparison. Horn is 14 rage per second. Drums is 12 rage per second. Now civilized is 10 rage per sec. Okay, so this is the number that we have. But again, we need to think that we're not using drums. We're not using drums. So if we have drums, this is probably gonna be like 11 rage or wait. Yeah, this is probably gonna be like, wait, drum, hold on a second. What is the proc rate of drums? Drums is procking once every 12.5. Give me a second. Where's my drums? Yeah, procs one time every 12.5 seconds. That is buffing two other march. 12.5 seconds. Where's my Echolon? Oh my god, I'm just trying to go back and forth amongst all these. If I hide some of these, is it gonna appear here? I mean, it still appears. Yeah, there you go. So because drums is proccing every 12.5, and it is given rage to extra. Give me a second. Gives a rage to myself and two nearby allied troops. Let me read the chat. Echelon looks like huge puzzle today. Yes, indeed. I'm using Echelon Olympia with leadership buffs, Philip. With Shajar, best march plus boost other marches, both of them. Yeah, it might be insane. So drums is proccing every 12.5. So if we add drums, right? If we are adding drums, that's buffing 2 march every 12.5 seconds. One march every 6 seconds. Okay, let's not add drums. Okay, let's not add drums. We could like talk about drums, but let's not actually do that. No need for that, I think. So this 10 rage is actually kind of like insane. Let's not add drums into this calculation yet, right? Okay, so give me a second. Now with the drums, yeah, this is the drums. Again, so this simulation right here, I used to do this like before, right? Nowadays there are a lot of rage reduction effects happening, so your skill cycle is actually much slower than this. Let's say 25, 25, 25. Oh my god, yes. So what I'm trying to do is from, for example, skill talent tree, right? Skill talent tree, let's say there is like Joan and Philip buffing this much. So Joan and Philip giving, this is just a perfect world, right? Just in the perfect world, Joan and Philip are buffing this march every 2 seconds with 25 rage. And look, the skill cycle went from 8 to 7. Now if you have crit horn, it's gonna be even much more better, because 25, 25, 25. It's even more guaranteed, right? Again, on open field, you will be losing rage, but this is enough to shave off 1 second. And let's see. Yeah, here I'm calculating the DPS increase, generic skill talent tree. So this one is from 8 seconds, right? We have 8 seconds. But here, it's kind of like similar to drums. We have gained 25 rage from the civilized, so our DPS increase is 13%. 13% DPS increase. 13% DPS, that's insane. That is actually insane. Okay, so there is some potential here. Let me check out the support talent tree. Here we are overraging. I mean, I think overraging is also, you don't have to worry about overraging as well, because this extra rage here, right? Extra rage here is gonna be a buffer to all of those rage reduction effects happening on the field. So in the end, I don't think you are gonna be overspilling all the time. Yeah, for support talent tree, also if you add 25s, it is being enough to shave off 1 second. No, it's not been enough. Hold on a second. It is not yet enough. Let me just do this 50. Support talent tree, it's not yet enough, but I think it's still gonna help, because without civilized, again, this is 7 seconds. Oh, wait. It is enough from 7 to 6. It goes from 7 to 6. Generic attack talent tree. Attack talent tree is kind of like also similar to... Wait, I don't need attack talent tree. Let me just do smite. Who uses attack talent tree nowadays? Let me just use smite. So smite is 9 seconds, the first skill cycle. Very slow. Second skill cycle is also 9. It could be better. The horn is proccing really small, right? So 20, let's see, 25, 25, 25. Yeah, it is. So in each cases, the civilized John Philip case, right? John Philip case is being enough to shave off 1 second. And if we are shaving off 1 second from 8 seconds of skill cycle to, if you go from 8 to 7, our DPS increases 13%. Now, rage generation, the faster you cast your skill, the more DPS increase you get. the rage generation, your active skill cycle actually works exponentially. It works exponentially. So it does not work like a diminishing return, but the faster you gain, the more DPS increase you're gonna make it. So from 7 to 6, it's 15%. From 6 to 5, it's 18%, almost 19%. So we can kind of guess that from 9 seconds to 8 seconds, it's gonna be about 10% increase. We can kind of imagine this. Like also like maybe like from 10 to 9, right? Your DPS increase is gonna be like somewhere around 8 or 7 or something like that. Okay, so now we know even with 10 rage per second generation, it is kind of being enough to shave off 1 second. But is it automatically gonna result in 13% DPS increase? Again, let's be conservative, all right? So let's say if we shave off 1 second, that's 10% DPS increase, right? This is obvious. We are casting our skill 1 second faster. But just in case, there's many stuff happens, and instead of consistently, right? This is 10% DPS increases consistently. But instead of that, let's just assume in reality we are getting 5% DPS increase. Okay, we are nerfing ourselves a lot. So minimum we are gaining 5, maximum 10. This is assumption, okay? So let me just type here. Min, we gain 5% dips, 5%. Let's say assumption 5% to 10% DPS increase on all affected marches. Okay. Now. So now we know. All right. So now we know. The civilized rage is actually does have a potential to make a difference. For example, this is just we are taking example on Joan and Philip case. All right, this is one example. This is just one example. Let me actually do this. It's gonna make it look pretty. Joan plus Philip example. Okay. So that and that, that and that and that, that and that. Okay. This is looking neat. Now, what does this mean? We need to translate this calculation into actually understandable stuff. So number of DPS marches. Okay, number of DPS marches. I think we can start. Let's do 3, 4, 5, 6. So number of DPS marches, right? Wait, total march. So total march here you have 5, 6, 7 march setup. Okay, total you have 4, 5, or let me actually do this. Yep. This is the setup, and one of them is Joan and Philip. Okay, that means our DPS march is 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, DPS march is 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh, 5% increase and 10% increase. Okay. 5%, 10%. So let us assume that John Philip is not doing any damage. Okay, so this is just an assumption. Let's just say John and Philip are just purely there to buffing these marches. Okay, just pure buffing march without doing any damage or whatsoever. Should we assume that, or John and Philip is actually 0.5 March? What do you guys think? Drums and sets call with Echolon. I also have influential leader inscription on the 2.2 second average I mentioned. Let's see. Should we consider John Philip as 0.5 March? Guys, what do you guys think? So what I'm trying to imagine is so this 3 DPS march, right? This 3 DPS march is going to produce, let's say, 1 DPS march produces 100% report, right? 1 DPS march is gonna produce 100% report, right? So this means 3 DPS march will produce 300% report combined. Okay, so this is just, you know, just to calculate the weight or effectiveness, right? So each march is producing like 100. But John and Philip will produce like 50% report, right? I mean, John and Philip is not gonna be like completely useless. They are gonna be doing some damage, right? So what I'm trying to do is like imagine is like for 4 march setup, 3 of yours is DPS, and John Philip is acting like a 0.5% DPS, right? So the number of kill points that you are gaining is like most of them is being produced by DPS marches, but John Philip is gonna be doing 0.5 march. Now, if pure DPS marches, okay, I think this is a little bit understandable. Let's do this. Let's do this, okay. Yeah, this is a little bit so pure DPS marches, 4 marches. Let me do this. Yeah. Number of marches, 4 marches will produce 400 report, right? The problem with Joe and Philip is that they will be melted down from AoE. Yes, they will. But yes, they will. Which is why we are taking them as a 0.5. Okay. So 4 TPS March will produce 400, like 4 report, right? Like a 1-to-1 report. And then as compared to here, we still have 4 March, but 3 of them are TPS, and Joan Philip is acting like 0.5%, which is, we are nerfing it. But Joan Philip is buffing these Marches report, okay? So if they're doing like 5%, in reality, because they're doing 5% more damage, they will produce maybe like 10% better report. But let's just say, because John Philip managed to increase the DPS of these 3 marches minimum 5%, so this is gonna act like this is gonna act like 0.15, right? So this, we are gaining this additional much of effectiveness. I don't know actually how to explain this, you guys. Hopefully this is understandable. And then with 10%, our effectiveness of, wait, let's do this 1.1, yeah. This is 1. Yeah. And then total effectiveness, right? Total effectiveness. No. I can, wait, I can just do this here. So thanks to John Philip with 5%, this 3 March is being effective as being 3.15 March. That's the idea. Okay, that is the idea. So, and then we add this. Here, and then we add this. One total effectiveness, right? Yes. So we are comparing this section with this section. So in 4 March setup, if you are running 4 DPS March, it is going to be better than having 3 March and John Philip as a buffing March, because in terms of effectiveness, they are not actually reaching to this much effectiveness. Yeah, they're not really reaching to 4. So it's better to have 4 DPS, because maximum we are like being close to 3.8, right? This is being close. Now, in terms of 5 March, I mean, this is like, this 0.5, this is like very it's very hard to approximate. In terms of 5 March, if one of your March is John Philip, then that March is gonna act as if being 4.7 to 4.9, very close to being equal to being 5 March. Okay, that is here the idea. All right. Now, so this is like, so here not worth. This is also being not worth it if you're running 5 March setup. 6 March setup. Versus John Philip. So now your March is acting as close to 5.7 to 6. So this is kind of like equal. So this is like maybe. This could be maybe. The reason why is I guess having 2 of each march, 2 infantry, 2 archer, 2 cavalry is gonna be good. I mean, I guess like equal, maybe equal, maybe not work. Why would I choose John Philip with Echelon where I can have 2-2 march, right? Let me, what do you guys think? Again, guys, this is the minimum. This is the minimum that we are talking. We did not even take example of drums. Maybe not worth. If you have drums, then it may start surpass. It may start surpass. Okay, that's the idea. Now for 7 March. Wait, for 7. Wait. For 7 March, it's only gonna be 5 of them is gonna benefit though, not all of the 6. Because our buffs are limited, so let's just say it's 5. That's 1. It's equal. Is it, my guys? Is it worth it? I mean, so do you also agree with Chisco's read on this meta? 3 marches with 2 buffers and then total 5 march? Total 5 march, but 2 of them are buffers. I think it's a little bit too much though. A little bit too much. Because the buff is better on Philip boost, you forget the 20 to 24 increase that the Echolon gives you, as well as the based on straight rage, not the buff increase. Yeah, you are getting the percentage based buffs are also increasing, right? Yeah, it's also increasing, but if we go down way too specific like that, it is gonna be quite tough. We are not really considering these buffs, right? We are not really considering these buffs. I mean, if we consider these, actually, it may start becoming worth for. Let's see. Actually, if we consider all of the buffs. Joan is also given rage, right? Also damage buff. Philip is also given damage buff. If we consider those, then maybe starting from 5th March, maybe this might be worth it. Because if we are just running 5 DPS March, it's just 5 DPS March. No one is buffing anybody, right? There's no like damage buffs. But John Philip, even though they are kind of like sucking individually, they are like supercharging, super boosting their DPS marches. So starting from 5, maybe it becomes okay. On 5 March, 4 of them can be DPS and 1 March can be support March. It is going to be at least equal, I think. So maybe. And starting from 6 March, then it is most definite starting to become worth it. Starting from this, we get value. Again, this is only rage, right? We are not even considering the buffing factor of Joan and Philip, the damage buffs, the other things. Let me read the chat. I see. If you wanna buffer march, just do one buffer, but with the math, it isn't worth it, right? So here, initial result. This is example of Joan Phillip. In terms of Joan Phillip, I think it might be insane. If you are like minimum playing 6 total March and one of them is being Joan Phillip. On 5 March, it could still work. This is example. But again, for example, Philip Shajar, let me check Shajar. Philip Shajar. I think Philip Shajar is gonna be similar though. In terms of performance, they're gonna be similar, maybe a little bit less. Because Shajar is also healing 3 targets, right? Yeah, heals up to 3 nearby enemies, blah blah blah. And then the healed troops gain this much stuff. So yeah, so Joan is, in terms of number of marches, I mean Shajar is not beating Joan. So at max, this Joan Philip Shajar is gonna be similar. Or like it can be like Shajar Philip Shajar as well. Philip Shajar, in terms of buffing capability, I think it's gonna be similar or might be even a little bit less, because Joan is kind of like casting her skill a lot. Philip Shajar will not have that much master skill cycle, so it might be ever so slightly less. And in terms of damaging capability, Joan definitely is gonna be doing more damage, but Philip Shajar is like insanely more tanky. So that is the up and down side. I'm looking for you entire day. Yo, what's up, Potato? What happened? Yo, Hunter, what's up, man? Welcome. Is Pendant of Eternal Night better for Chen Huan? Yeah, Pendant is being utilized with Chen Huan right now. Yes. Philip Shajar really fills the hospital, and I would not consider it 50% March, more like 0.5 normal March. Yeah, that's sure, right? Philip Shajar, similar or gonna be worse, I guess. Okay, so Philip Shajar is Joan Phillip does have a potential, okay, I see. So if you are running 6 March, then we are definitely seeing some potential. Again, guys, this effectiveness, right? We did not even consider having drums, or we did not even consider have the Joan and Phillip buffs that they are buffing these marches, right? So in reality, this might be even higher. So we are already seeing improvement in 6 March setup total, and one of them being buffer March, and specifically Joan Phillip. Now I want to take another example, which the other example is this one. So it's gonna be any DPS plus Phillip example, okay? Any DPS. So one of the March is being DPS and only Phillip is the one who is buffing. Okay, that is the idea. In that case, of course, this result is gonna be looking much lower. So any DPS, right? So this is 0 buffs, so 0 rage. So now we are getting 125 rage. Wait, also, oh well, wait a second. 125 rage. This is not every 4 seconds. 125 rage. Oh, let's say every 8 seconds. Okay, let's say every 8 seconds. Because it's only Philip. No, I guess on open field, Philip does have a potential to cast his skill again. So if we take a look into 2 skill cycle, we are casting our skill 3 times. And 2 skill cycle is, let's say it's like 16 seconds. So that is, yeah, we can assume that it's like 125 rage every 6 seconds, right? This is just, I mean, this is already looking not great. It's already looking not great. 125 divided by 6 divided by 5. Oh man, that's so. Previously it was 10 rage per second, but now it's like 4.2 rage per second per march. Here, John Philip case was 10 rage per second, right? Oh my god, we also forgot about the Jones. Yo, we also forgot about the Jones. Joan also given a rage as well. I forgot about this. So yeah, guys. So definitely equal. Again, here we did not consider. Here, let me just write it here. Without Joan buffs or Philip buffs. Yeah, if you consider all of those buffs, then definitely most likely 100% is like starting from 6th March, John and Philip is gonna be insane. I'll be right back, guys. I'm out of water. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. Check in-game PM. Potato, I'll do that in a bit, man. I will do that. Okay. Maybe we need to consider which turns drum rage will overlap with civilized rage. March with drums can also stack when they receive rage from another drums to see the interaction. You mean overraging factor? I'm not really worried about overraging, man. Yes, there is a potential that there are some overrage issues, but again, so the rage happens is final rage, right? Let me here. Final rage cap is 220, but final rage here. So I'll do this. Total rage gain, and then apply rage reductions, and then apply rage cap. So the rage cap actually applies the last. So even if we are overraging, probably some of them are gonna get reduced, and it's gonna be like buffer, and then we end up not overraging too much on open field. So I'm not too worried about this overlapping issue. Man, so any DPS Philip is, I don't think this one is gonna be good. Let's go to my drums. Yeah, so here Philip is gonna be casting, and let's see, this is civilized. Okay, this is civilized. Philip is gonna be casting his skill, and then 25 rage. I mean, 25 rage is still being enough. Like, reduce 1 second. Again, on open field, we are experiencing so much rage reductions that in reality, our skill casting time is not 7 seconds, right? But this is still being enough. And sometimes in another turn, we will get 50 rage. Support talent tree, let's see. Support talent tree is also being enough. Even just a tiny touch of 25 rage is being enough. Unfortunately, for smite talent tree is not being enough. So because the effectiveness is 2 times less, our previous one is generating 10 rage, this one is generating 4 rage, so it's like almost the half of the effectiveness. It still has a potential to help with the skill cycle, right? But let's just halve the effects and see what happens. It's a lot of yeah. So instead of like 5, we are gaining 2.5, and this is like instead of 10, we are gaining 5. So here 5, right? Then here, instead of that, we are gaining this. So now things are kind of like, yeah, these are not being worth it. Starting from 6, again, it becomes maybe. So if someone actually invests into Echelon and do this civilized and everything, again, the scroll, we also have some sort of buff, right? So in reality, we might see better results than this. So even if you have 1 DPS march with Philip that is running Echolon, if you're running 6 or more marches, it might give you some value, or at least it is gonna be equal to having 7 march. But then again, guys, this is on 7 march. I think this is definitely a big value, because if you're running 7 march, then one of the march troop type is gonna, you need to have 3 march, right? 3 march of certain troop type. That means that you are forced to use 5 or 6 years old commander. So one of your march is gonna be very bad anyways. One of your march gonna suck anyways, especially for 7 march setup. 6 is okay, because you can easily make powerful 2-2-2 marches for each troop type easily. 7 is like that extra 1 march is gonna suck. So instead of having that sucky march, if you just do John Philip, it's definitely gonna be giving value, and then it is gonna be buffing the other 2-2-2 march tremendously, and it's definitely gonna be producing better results. Because here it's like it's not actually 7 March, but it's like the effectiveness is like 6.8 or something like that. Maybe like even 6.6 because you are using old commanders. It's not gonna be as good. So I think in this case it's still okay. What do you guys think? So was Chisco right this whole time? Yeah, Chis actually uses civilized a lot, right? And I think Chis might be onto something. We are seeing some decent stuff here with civilized, starting from like Joan Philip specifically. If you're running, if you have 5 March, one of them being John Philip, it's now becoming like equal, so it is okay. It's okay to run. But if you have 6 March, then John Philip as a buffer March, as a 6th March, is starting to give you some value. And 7 March, 100% John Philip is giving you value. Now another example is just any DPS and Philip, maybe like Arthur and Philip, but they're running Echolon or Echelon. This setup still gives value for the 7th March. This is still quite a bit of value. And also Arthur Philip, right? Arthur Philip does decent. And if we go ahead and check out the civilized buffs, especially with the influential leader, right? With the basic attack, you have 10% chance to give some attack to 3 nearby enemies. And we all know that combo will trigger this more often. In fact, this is 5 seconds of cooldown with 10 seconds of chance. That means this is similar to proc chance of having Ring. Ring is similar proc chance, right? The Ring does have 10% chance and 5 seconds of cooldown. So it is going to proc approximately around every 14 turns, 14 seconds. But with combo, this is gonna be proccing much more often. Maybe even like every like 7 or 8. It is gonna proc much more often. So yeah. Arthur Philip running Echelon as a 7th March. Like, oh my god, like that could work. It does some that do have some potential, and not to mention that Echelon formation is giving you boost to rage recovery, so it's definitely gonna help. But I mean, if there's an Arthur, then Arthur is generating rage anyway, so it's okay. But this loaded is also nice as well. This is providing a lot of tankiness. Nullify is also quite decent as well, and this is also fixed normal damage resistance, right? So the Arthur Philip March is very squishy March, right, as we know. But isn't Echolon is helping with that? Right, yes, they are sacrificing damage. If they are running Delta, yes, they will be doing a little bit more damage. But then again, Philip is not doing Delta, so Arthur Philip is not benefiting from Delta formation 100%. I mean, Steel Skin is also nice as well, but this is just Steel Skin is only 2% damage resistance, and this effect stacks. Yo, Big Daddy coming in with 5 gifties. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the membership. Big W in the chat, you guys, for Big Daddy. Appreciate the support. But yeah, Echelon formation is okay. You are sacrificing your damage, which you are not really gaining that much anyways, but in exchange you are getting some tanky stats, and tanky stats is quite important. The longer you survive on open field, the more damage you end up doing anyways, right? So okay, so like this is very interesting. For example, Arthur Philip. Guys, it doesn't have to be Arthur Philip. It can actually be Achilles Philip as well. It can be Achilles Philip as well. Yeah, it can be Achilles Philip as well. It as much as it sounds crazy, but yeah, why not? Okay. So these are some initial. All right. So far, if both of your march is like AoE buffer march, they are just straight up adding one additional like horn almost. Horn is 14 rage, drum is 12 rage. This is on normal marches, but civilized is 10 rage per second. Now here is very interesting. Okay, so 5 AoE. 5 AoE buffer march and Philip example. This is actually like Arthur. I can actually Arthur Philip. Yeah, I mean, okay, let's just do 0. I mean, Arthur Philip definitely gonna perform better, right? It might be even 0.7 or something. Let's just do 0.6. Is there a reason? Yeah, 0.6. Yeah, it works. Definitely 100%. Yes. Of course. Yeah, definite. Most definite. Let me read the chat. Now I had a little bit of idea. I have tons of rare inscriptions not being used. I might just build Echelon. I'm loving John Bailey because it really gives a huge boost to my 4 other marches. John Bailey is gonna be slightly less than this. So in reality, if you're running a total 5 march, it might not be worth it, but still it is. I mean, I think it's still gonna be okay. It's still gonna be okay. Because Joan is only buffing 3 march, right? So the amount of rage that you're giving to. Wait a second, Joan is recasting her skill, so. Oh no. I think it's similar. Wait. Yeah. Joan is double casting her skill, so it's not 75 rage, but 75 times 2, right? Because Joan is like recasting her skill. And Belisarius is not really buffing. I mean, Belisarius does buffing, but by applying debuff on the target, so it's not gonna really trigger the civilized. But yeah, Joan Bailey actually going. Whoa, wait. Arthur Philip, or I will actually do this. This is Joan Bailey as well. Yeah. Joan Bailey is gonna be similar. Yeah, that's true. You're absolutely correct. Joan Bailey. Yes. Echelon is crack information. Well, I mean, can't argue with that. So far, you gotta have minimum 5 or 6 march to actually start seeing the benefits, right? So it's not for F2P, or maybe some small spenders don't have to do this, but if you are building your 6th march, then it might be a consideration. But that 6th march has to have some sort of buffing march, minimum. Now, this is another interesting example. Let's imagine there is a 5 AoE buffing march just like Philip. Maybe in future we get it. And then also that I mean, let's imagine like 5 AoE. Let's imagine Joan, but no, not Joan. No, I mean just oh my god, what happened? Yeah, 5 AoE buffer, right? Plus Philip. Yeah, let's just imagine this. Now, here we have 5 AoE buffer, right? That means 5 buffs as well. 125 rage, and then so that's total 250 rage. Now, if you 250 rage per skill cycle. 250 rage per skill cycle. Oh, no, wait a second. Yeah. It's 250 plus 250 plus 125 because Philip does have a chance to cast his skill again. How 625, and then let's say they have 7 seconds of skill cycle, which can be achieved with the support talent tree. So 14 divided by 5. No, it's actually kind of a little bit less rage though. It's 9 rage. The reason why here the civilized is giving you less rage per second is because Joan is just simply double casting her skill, so it is guaranteed rage every 2 seconds. Again, this civilized 10 rage per second, we are not even considering Joan's buff, right? Here, the AoE 5 AoE buffer is just casting his skill once, and then Philip is casting his skill once, and then maybe Philip's gonna cast his skill again, but Philip only has 40% chance, and then the other guy has 20% chance. So we are assuming that one of them is going to recast their skill once every 2 turns. That is what we are assuming. In that case, it's still slightly lower than this John. Let me read the chat. Abo Al Abbas, I'm good, my friend. How are you? How are you? Please consider Philip Trajan. Trajan. So Philip Trajan is pure support march. They're not there to do all too much damage, right? Is the civilized is going to be enough of a reason to use Philip Trajan? Let's see. Gain 15 extra rate, so it's kind of like similar to, yeah, so Trajan is the prime example of that 5 AoE buffer, right? He does gives more rage. He doesn't do that much damage. He is tanky. Uh, 10% skill damage. This is only skill damage. So Rajan in today's meta, because there are many combo and smite damage, is not really fully being utilized, but I think it is gonna be similar to 5 AoE. But hey, we forgot something here. So this is buffer plus Philip, right? This means this march is not gonna do damage at all. Now that is the problem. That is a problem. We can assume that this march is like I guess it's not gonna be completely like empty, but compared to DPS march, it's not gonna pull anything, right? It's not gonna do anything. In this case, this is not worth, and this is like maybe, but we have better option, I would say. Only in 7 March setup, the value effectiveness. Wait. This is 5% actually, because it's 9 rage, right? So it should be similar to Joan Philip. So this is our assumption. So let me just fix this. Then this. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for 6 March setup, like maybe, but 7 March setup, you could do it, but we still have a better option, right? I would rather run Arthur Philip or Achilles Philip or Joan Belly as my 7th March with Echelon as compared to running Trajan and Philip, for example. This is Trajan Philip. Let's say in future we get a commander, maybe this year, right? I don't exactly know, but maybe in future we get a commander that does 5 AoE buff, but also does some sort of damage, and that's a leadership commander. Oh boy, Echolon is gonna be superb. Just imagine, guys, just imagine a leadership, some sort of buffing march similar to Joan, right? I mean, that march does not really have to keep casting his skill, but you just pair that march with Philip, and then that march is like doing 5 AoE buff, but also doing some sort of AoE damage. Is that too much to ask? I wonder if that is gonna happen. Shajar has to be primary, right? Shajar healing has cooldown, and Philip skill activates Shajar heal. Is no Shajar secondary heals as well, right? Like, let's see. If this commander is serving primary, it just deals damage. But if this is serving secondary, you are healing yourself and then doing a damage based on that healing amount. So I think Shajar needs to be secondary to spam heal. So Philip is primary and Shajar should be secondary. Doesn't the 5 AoE buff apply to the Philip March as well though? So it's only 4 DPS marches, not 5. We gotta consider that in... let's see. Good point, let's see. Up to 5 nearby allied or friendly troops, including this commander, right? Including this commander. Okay, so this actually... So it's only like 4 of the marches are benefiting this. 4 of the marches actually benefiting. Okay. I mean, Philip March himself will benefit, but in reality 4 of the marches are benefiting. Okay, that's a good point. Let me try adjust that and see if that is the case. We are not really... Yes, we are buffing ourselves, but that's okay. So 3 March is okay. 4 March is okay. This 6 March setup. Starting from here. Dionko, thanks for the membership. Welcome, welcome. -1 +1. I think this should be it. So 4 March, 5 March, 6 March. Wait. No. 5 March, 6, 7. Yes. It does not really make all too big of a change. Yeah, 5.9, it's a very small amount. Wait. This is actually 4. This is 4 plus 2. Yes, 4 plus 2. This is 4 plus 2. This is also 4 plus 2. Ah, okay. 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 This is also 4. This is also 4 plus 1. Let me just do this. 4 plus 1. Yes. Then I can copy this and then put this here. Then adjust this number. 25. Yeah, it doesn't make all too much big of a difference, but yeah, I think it's still same. It's still same in terms of so in 7 March setup. In 7 March setup, Joan Philip will be gaining the rage from the civilized themselves and also giving the rage to 4 other. Wait. But that means the actual effective rage is decreasing. We gotta calculate this. Let me read the chat. Hey, so should I get rid of my natural crit dagger? I'll be out 1 accessory. Yes, dagger, you don't really need dagger. Prince, good morning. I think you ask too much, chef. I mean, you know, all of these high-end scientists, the bright minds, all of the breakthrough discoveries started with question. So yes, I ask questions. Shajar primary still heal 3 other marches, I guess. None. Isn't Shajar primary just does damage? If serving as primary deals this much damage. If secondary, no, I think Shajar still heals. Shajar still heals. I think I'm wrong. I've never used Shajar primary. Where's my scuffed Philip as well? It's not going to. Let's just see. Yeah, I think she will heal. And then Philip is gonna heal as well. Yep. Heals. Nah, heals. Shajar primary only heals once. But Shajar secondary heals twice. Third skill of Shajar. Yeah, third skill is whenever you are healing. Yeah, so you are double healing when Shajar is secondary, right? Yeah, so when Shajar primary, Shajar is only healing with this. Wait. So Shajar primary, Shajar only heals with this. But Shajar secondary, the primary commander heals with this, and then because Shajar is secondary, herself heals from this. Okay, now we know. Let me just finish this. Right? Might as well make it worth the AP. Okay, so oh my god, is this approximation calculation is viable? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? So far, Joan Philip is actually being insane as a 6th or 7th March. Okay, 6th or 7th March with the Echelon. Very might well be, especially for 7th March setup. If I am running 7th March setup, I would consider very likely that I would just run John Philip, because you cannot make a really good 3 marches from one troop type anyway, right? So in terms of 7th March, you're gonna be running like 2, 2, and 3 setup, right? So 2, 2, and 3, the one of the troop type is gonna be forced to run 3 March, and that March is gonna suck anyways, because you are forced to use 5 or 6 year old commander because it's 3 March. But I would consider this very highly, especially 7 March. 6 March maybe, or you can like play safe and then just do like 2, 2, 2. It is I think it is viable 2, 2, 2. Because you can easily make meta of 2 March for each troop type. Right now, we don't have enough combo, we don't have enough smite commanders to do so yet. And also, archer commanders are getting, updated as well. But in like 1 or 2 years, this is gonna be not a problem at all. But 7 March, 100%. The second example is any DPS plus Philip. This can be Arthur Achilles with Philip or Joan Belly as well. It's similar. Wait. So this 125 rage is actually 100 rage. So you are generating 175 rage. We forgot about the Philip buffing the other 4. As for John Philip March, they don't really need the rage themselves anyways. So let's say the effective rage is 175, right? So 175 rage per 4 seconds per 5 March. Yeah, so this is like, this is like 10 rage per second. No, I'm not 10, but 9 rage per second. In reality, Joan Philip will generate more rage, because Joan is also giving you rage as well. Let's see, Joan. 3 March, 20 rage per second for 3 seconds. So 60 rage, 180 additional rage, right? 180 additional rage. Let me read the chat. Let's see. Hey, Dionko, thanks for the super chat. Which troop stats to go for? What do you mean? Which troop stats to go for? Oh, by the way, Dionko, welcome to the kitchen crew, man. I completely I think I missed that, man. Well, welcome. Thanks for the membership. Should I dismantle Horn and to craft the pendant for Qinshi Huan? I wouldn't recommend that. Qinshi Huan can still use Horn for prolonged fight, right? I mean, Horn is completely useless if you are pairing Qinshi Huan with Zhuge, but Horn can be useful with other marches. So that's like a very risky exchange, though. If you have drums built, I mean, I guess you could definitely do that, but if you do not, then I would suggest just keep the Horn. Shajar primary heals 3 March, also buffs 3 March with his expertise. Yo, why so no, Shajar has to be secondary, right? Because if Shajar secondary, then she is healing twice. I mean, wait, if Philip is buffing anyways, then Shajar has to be primary, because when Shajar primary, she is healing 3 other targets. And those healed targets also gaining some buffs here as well, right? So Shajar primary buffs 3 other targets. And then Philip also buffs anyways, so they don't really need Shajar's heal. So Philip primary, Shajar secondary is gonna heal a lot more, but they are gonna be doing less damage. Shajar primary, on the other hand, is gonna heal a little bit less, but they are gonna be doing a little bit more damage. But is it gonna be worth it? I don't. It's kind of meh, because Shajar is only like 1 target damage, right? But yeah, Shajar primary might be better stuff, because you guys did say that the hospital might end up getting filled too much. So yeah, that might be the case actually. Is it good for F2P doing 2 archer, 2 infantry, and 1 buffer? No, I wouldn't recommend. It looks like the Echelon formation with the buffer march is highly recommended if you have 6 or 7 march. One of them is being buffer march. So 6 or 7 march, usually like medium or high spenders and up runs that many marches, right? So as an F2P, I wouldn't really recommend that. Just play like a super duper meta of 3-4 meta march. What happened to Itachi account in 4028? Like, I think with some personal stuff, Itachi decided to just, take a break. That's what I understood. I don't know like exactly what happened though. I think that might be the case. Itachi did drop a lot of power. He was 120 million, but now he is like 50 million power or something like that. But from what I understood, he intentionally just deleted his troops because he did not want to affect the matchmaking. That's what I understood. I have no idea. I don't know the exact. Yeah, this is the Itachi account. He was 120 million power, right? But now it's only like 51 million power. Should I max Shajar or Hector for field? No, I would not really recommend. No. Unless you are a very high spender, then, for field only, Shajar Hector is not that great. There are very specific situations like Qinshi Huan Shajar could be really good in like Altar of Darkness, right? But that's very specific situation. Hector is also not great on the field, but Hector can be used in garrisons as well right now. But who uses garrison? It's Wales. Yo, Photo Regime. Hello, Bilict. I hope everything is fine. I have a question. Do you know which inscription you can get from KK Shop for Wage 2? It is the scroll. So it is the Advantage Advanced. This one. It's on the scroll. You can get it from the KK Shop. Yo, Big Cam, what's up, man? What is up? Long time no see, Big Kane. Long time no see. I did see your... you've been like streaming here and there, but I've been missing it. Civilized only proc 1 time per second. Philip primary Shachar heals while Philip buffs, so the Civilized only proc once. Yes. So the Civilized will only proc once, so yes. So I think for just not filling hospital purposes and trying to do a little bit more damage, Shajar primary and Philip might be the better choice. I agree with you guys. One for each troop type, like using 2 troop type for FTP. For FTP player, use 2 troop types. Don't go for 3. Because in Season of Conquest, one of your troop type is gonna get completely neglected. 0 tech when you go into Kingsland. That's just gonna be easy food on open field for the enemies. So what you do with F2P player is do 2 troop types, right? So that one of your troop types crystal tech is gonna be quite decent, and the second troop type is gonna have some sort of stats as well when you're entering Kingsland. That's what I would recommend. And also you can just add 1 siege march. Siege march does not need crystal tech at all. 0 tech crystal tech. Siege march will produce positive reports if the situation is correct. That is what I would recommend. 120 something million, I think. Altar and Canyon. Oh yeah, Canyon as well, right? Shajar is for Canyon. Arthur David is more than Arthur Hector. I agree, 100%. And yeah, David does have some... I'm really liking David, right? Really liking David. Is there an info if you get more of this dismantle event or just once in a life? I am not too sure, Ultra. They did not give us any more info. Maybe we'll get it once every, like an annual event, maybe. Maybe not. I mean, I would love that they would make it an annual event. It doesn't hurt anybody, but it just helps the players. Everybody makes mistake. Everybody crafts the wrong equipment. So why not give it once every year, right? I mean, Commander Reset is maybe once every year might be too much, right? That might be too much, but equipment, maybe. Oh, I forgot about Siege. So which is better, Buffer or Siege? If you are F2P small spender, I would still go for like a Siege, because again Siege does not require any tech, and then F2P small spender is like, F2P players are like running 3 or 4 march maximum, and small spenders like running 4 or 5 march maximum, right? Small spenders not really going to like 6 march, not really most of the time. I mean, given enough time for your account to develop, maybe 6 march. For small spenders, they can still do okay in the crystal tech. For whales and krakens, like high spenders who spend and then they are running 6-7 march easy, then definitely I recommend the buffer march with Echelon formation instead of siege, because they will be producing more kill points, will be more effective on open field as compared to having siege. Yes, siege does produce really nice reports, but Siege, the damage output of Siege is very slow. Siege does the damage of Siege is very slow. You just keep hitting enemy, just keep hitting. That guy is not dying. He's still there. You still hitting. You still casting your skills, but he's still there. But like powerful melee marches, they go ahead and hit once or twice skill cycle, and it's already half of the HP is gone, right? Yo, Dionko, appreciate you, man, for the super chat. Please make the Echelon viable. My man, so this Echelon or Echelon, right? Echelon formation, I think it is viable, in my opinion. Right now, I see that John Philip is actually great. Echelon formation, John Philip is very glass cannon march, right? But thanks to support talent trees buffs, John is become tanky. And Echelon formation is also given a lot of tankiness. So John Philip march is very, very interesting. And if you have Echelon with civilized, then definitely John Philip I would consider as a 6th or 7th march as a spender. 5 March maybe, but then again, like, why you go invest in 5 March as a buffer? Because you can just make another meta DPS March, right? So that's the argument. For 6 or 7 March, especially if you are running 7 Marches, John Philip, I would 100%, no questions asked, I would include John Philip, 100%. On top of that, any DPS march with Philip, for example, Arthur, Achilles, Philip, or John Bailey is also really nice as well as a 7th march. Really, really nice. They could be also quite decent as a 6th march, but then again, we have to ask, you just make 6th meta march, right? 2-2 of each troop type. That is going to be a little bit smarter in terms of investment, because you would like to use one of your meta commander, for example Sun Tzu Prime, for like minimum 3 or 4 years, right? If you're running 5 March, right, that means, let's say you have 2 infantry, 2 cavalry, and 1 archer or something like that. So this one march setup is actually a little bit of a problem, because you have invested into like meta 2 commanders, right? But then again, the next powerful commander comes, so you are replacing and upgrading this one piece of march, but the one you are benching is still in the meta, so you are not really like fully utilizing or getting your return on investment. So yeah, I think I'm getting closer and closer to getting into conclusion that 7th March with Echelon formation, commanders that is doing AoE buffs is like, without a question, I think you should do it. This is, I think, very good news for spenders. A 6 March is like yes, it could work, but why, right? That's the question, and I just answered that with not fully utilizing. And like this Trajan Philip, like pure AoE buffer march is also like I mean, pure buffer march can work also with 7 March setup as well. 6 March is not worth it. Again, pure buffer march in 6 March, you just do 2-2 each troop trap, and those are going to be extremely strong. Why you are sacrificing one of your march to make a buffer march, right? So that is, I think I'm reaching to the conclusion. What do you guys think, my friends? My cat just arrived, and man, my cat just arrived, and my allergy is instantaneously getting triggered. Let me try to show you guys. So he is the culprit of my allergy. he triggers my allergy insanely. So because of that, now he is the face of this stream. This guy is the culprit. He does not really appear on the stream, but he gives me insane amount of allergic reaction. But man, why this is not? I'm trying to. How can I? Maybe. All right. There we go. Nice. So, say hello to my streamer cat, the culprit of my allergy. Привет, что лучше на один марш Артур Акилис? Да, самурай, да. Сейчас это да, но я думаю, ми нужно подождать новый командир. Может быть, это еще сильней. Да? Should I dismantle Ring of Doom for Horn? I have infantry. So Horn is must have for open field marches. You have to have one horn on all of your marches. Qin Shi Huang could be an exception, but Qin Shi Huang can still utilize horn. But yeah, if you do not have horn, 100% you have to have horn. Okay. Dismantling ring for that is a little bit weird because ring can be used on like a lot of situations. So I don't think dismantling ring might be like a long-term good idea. It can still be used for your city garrison or whatever, siege or new marches. So yeah, aiming to craft horn is good idea, but dismantling ring is a little bit iffy. But I guess you can use this opportunity, this event, to dismantle it. I see, so siege is still the best last march for average players. Yeah, I do agree. What of 6 marches with 3 cav? Does Echelon make sense then? I think so. I think you can just maybe turn one of your cav marches into buffing march and then use like Arthur Philip with Echelon, or like Joan Bailey actually works as well. He's like, what's the problem of this human? Dismantle and craft new cat. My guy had intersect. There is a sense to use some tanky commanders like Martel. No. Martel is actually not that much tankier in today's meta. Yes, he does have quite a bit of stats, but he will get melted, unfortunately, on open field. So no. I think people need to be very honest with themselves about if their account spend level is adequate to run 6-7 March, much less than having one being buff in March. Yeah. So today's conclusion, I'm reaching to a conclusion that the Echelon formation is for high spenders and whales that is running minimum 6 March and probably 7 March. Especially this is looking extremely juicy and good for 7 March setup. 100% if I'm running 7 March setup, I would do that. Anything other than that, F2P or small spenders that is running for like 4 or 5 March, I don't really recommend Echelon. It's better off for you to just build 4 or 5 meta DPS marches, right? That's gonna give you more. just because you can doesn't mean you should. Yeah, exactly. So it depends. F2P small spender, not recommended. Yeah. He's like, what the hell? Chef Cat active skill activated. Yes. He just arrived and my allergy immediately started to kick off. My nose started feeling tingly. Would Philip Trajan be viable? 125 each skill, 50 rage from Trajan. I am seriously considering Trajan. Nah, man. Philip Trajan. I think Philip Trajan is gonna be the worst out of these options. I would actually recommend John Philip or like Arthur Philip or Achilles Philip or John Bailey before Trajan. Trajan is, you know, not also, yes, he does give rage, but he's not doing damage. Philip is not doing much damage, so they are basically like gonna become like a 0 damage dealing March, right? So that's a little bit too much in my opinion. But this is like Arthur Philip will be doing some sort of damage, right? John Billy also, like they kind of contribute as well as buffing. John Philip here as well, kind of doing quite a bit of amount of damage, not as good as the DPS marches, but they will contribute as well. Four drums, ring pendant on Chinshuan Zugulian. Oh man, malicious Kobe, that is perfect setup. Exactly. I wanna give that hand emoji as well. Which turn built into cat? At what point should start making 6th March? 6th March is purely depends on your spending level. If you are F2P small spender, no need to consider 6th March because it's gonna be quite hard to open them. For high spenders, medium spender may consider that, but high spenders, high whale and krakens, they can do 6th March as soon as possible. Should I dismantle ring and craft again so that my 3rd craft, or just go ahead and start refining it? So that ring is gonna be your 3rd craft. So in order to get the guaranteed crit, you need to use 3 blueprints, right? Wait, we did that calculation before. We did that calculation before. The answer was, if you, there's a short video that I made with that, fishing for crit. If you already have 3 equipment, 3 of that type, then you can craft 4th and 5th to fish for crit. But if you have 2, then it is not worth it. However, with this event, it might be worth it. You just spending some gems, right? But without spending gems, if this event wasn't here, it's not worth it. You gotta have 3. So the idea here is that if I have 3 rings, right? This is just an example. Or horns. Oh, my cat is blocking. Let me just do this. If I have 3 horns, right? If I already have 3 horns, then I could craft the 4th and then dismantle and then craft the 5th. That is actually better than refining. And then dismantle one of them and then have total 3 horns still, but one of them is crit. So I am spending 2 blueprints to get one of my guy crit. And then because I dismantled these 2, I'm only losing material worth of one craft, right? But if you have only 2 of that equipment, it's not worth. So only if you already have 3. And then you are about to craft the 4th. Is that Scottish Fold? Yes. My boy is a Scottish Fold. Wouldn't buffing the big threes Shinshouhan Sunsu Achilles be better than running mediocre DPS March? The thing is that eventually, right? Eventually, we will have very good 2-2-2 March setup. It's not gonna be mediocre. The 2-2-2 March setup, infantry, archer, cavalry, right? We will have really strong 2 smites, 2 archer commander, and 2 combos. So, yeah. But when you are running 7 March setup, for example, let's say you are running 3 cavalry, right? Then the 3rd March of cavalry is gonna be mediocre anyways. So why not you have buffing March? Buffing March is gonna buff the other meta 6 March. Cat not moving an inch. My cat is taking a nap. Yeah, a picture of its cat. You guys can see he is breathing, right? So riddle me this, Bellict. If you shouldn't have an Echelon buffet March until 6th March, why is it absolute must in Sunset Canyon? Is it the Echolon formation is must in Sunset Canyon? I mean, as a 6th March in Sunset Canyon, the buffing March is most likely very tanky March as well, right? To soak up some damage. And also the buffing March, here we have concluded that buffing March starting from 6, it could be useful. So if the buffing March is being useful at 6 March setup, and then if it's also tanking in Sunset Canyon, then I think it's actually meta. One more question, where there was said that drums is good for LC because he triggers it more often. Does this apply even if he is secondary behind Scipio? Yes, it does. Luce procs drums 20% faster, but combo marches procs drums like 50% or even more faster. So combo marches actually proc cavalry combos proc even faster. I mean, Luce does proc, but the reason why is Luce also does combo damage here. So because Luce is doing combo damage, yes, this is procking faster. So it's just because of the combo. The more combo you do, the faster you proc the drums. I sent you DM in game. I decided to forge ring for Archer. Alright, man. Nice. It's Warlord or Oracle Cat doesn't need to move. You just lead the war. He'll answer it once he gets to it. Man, yeah, I actually read the chat really super slow. Maybe Lilith realized at the flat 2.0, so the 222 theory is wrong. I mean, even if Ettiflat comes in, right? Even if, let's say, imagine Ettiflat 2.0 comes in and like a really strong, like a support march, right? But eventually Ettiflat will go out of meta. And then eventually, because they will keep releasing meta marches, it will go back to being 2-2, right? That's the idea. Can you scroll from top slowly again? What do you mean? All right, my guys. Yeah, it's okay. So there is some potential we can see. It is interesting. It is quite the interesting. Oh no! Today I wanted to upgrade the equipment cooker tool, but we ended up not doing that as well. Oh my gosh. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow, I think. Should I do that right now? Maybe I should. I mean, I guess I could upgrade that right now. Let me change. Do you guys want to see the cat cam or me cam? Which one do you guys want to see? Probably you guys gonna be choosing cat cam, which I don't mind. I agree with the Sunset Canyon assessment, by the way. It was a trick question. Canyon is different because of the lineup mechanic. Okay, so we are doing the hashtag catcam, I see. Alright, my catcam does not have a green screen, so it's fine. Alright, so now there has been many requests for me to upgrade this certain thing right here. We need to upgrade this with who? Arthur William. Yeah, we need to upgrade this with Arthur Achilles, right? Arthur Achilles, and who else am I missing? Guys, what pair am I missing here? Oh my god, I'm also missing Sun Tzu Prime. Oh gosh darn it, I haven't really upgraded Sun Tzu as well. I mean, I made the video, but I did not upgrade the interface, right? Cat cam. Cat cam build commentary risk before success. Yeah, Sun Tzu is missing, and also okay, I see. Raleigh Garrison. Wait, holy crap. Oh my god, I also need to upgrade the Ivar as well. I haven't upgraded the Ivar, my guys. I think I have done the calculation already. So here's the library. Here's the library. Let's see. So maybe I will add here. Right. Put this here. And this is going to be Yo, Dionko coming in with 50 bucks. Amazing channel. Any tips? Stats type for Echelon. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. The stat type. I see. Now I understand what you mean with the stat type. Let me go back here. Where was it? Yeah. That's actually kind of like a hard question, right? That is actually kind of hard question, because here, if you are choosing Joan, then it's better for you to use cavalry marches with cavalry gear. Here also cavalry marches with cavalry gear. But here you gotta use leadership gear as well. And like for example here, like a Baichi Philip with Echolon, right? That means you gotta use infantry gear as well. And it depends on the pair. That's actually a very good question. That's actually a very good question. The idea is that, okay, so if you're making Echelon formation, then you are committing to like kind of like a one troop type, right? So who is gonna be better? You're kind of committing to one troop type because you gotta have the stats for it. You've been slacking as hard as cat taking a nap. I blame the cat for the delay. Yeah, man, the equipment to cooker tool. I've been quite busy. I have Echelon with infantry. I guess it all comes down to what troop type you are preferring. Maybe, just maybe, cavalry is better. Just maybe. This is just my opinion. Just because cavalry moves like faster, right? Cavalry is really fast, so that might be quite useful on open field just because of the movement speed. In terms of stats, I don't think it matters. Like archer, cavalry, infantry, they're gonna be same. Of course, Philip is providing different stats. With Philip, archer and infantry is doing good because Philip is providing tanky stats, which is important. And with cavalry, Philip is kind of like glass cannon. But in future, we might get another Philip, but it also gives some AoE buff. But it might have a better stats for cavalry, right? So I might choose cavalry just because of the movement speed. Otherwise, it just comes down to your personal preference if you want to have infantry, archer, or cavalry. It doesn't really matter. You could also choose this depending on your zenith skin or what skin you have as well. But yeah, maybe just the movement speed. So Echelon on field is crazy. Yes, for 6 or 7 March setup. Especially for 7 March setup, I think it's crazy. 6 is good. You can get away with this, but who is Echelon is for whales who are opening 7 marches. And sometimes they're playing 7 or sometimes they're garrisoning and then just playing 6, right? But Echelon is still gonna be there. For most chat, Echelon is for whales who run 5+ marches. Yes, exactly. It is especially looking really good for 7 March setup. Extremely good. John has the new cool clothes. Gotta factor in that too. Indeed. All right, it is time to work on the equipment cooker tool, my guys. So STP by Chi, right? STP by Chi. That's the first pair for sure. Let me add more. And then we are going to add STP LC. Wait, this is gonna be same. The stats are same. STP LC, William Wallace. Plus, yeah, plus LC. Oh my god, Dionka going, my god, man, I appreciate you, man, going crazy. Do you foresee 3 troop type march? You mean leadership march? I don't think leadership march is ever gonna exceed a troop specific march. It will not make sense if leadership march, like, let me just explain here. So let's say they release a commander like Ethelflet, right? Leadership commander that can run any troop type, but as equally as powerful with powerful as Sun Tzu Prime. Okay, let's imagine that. But this is not gonna make sense because now everybody's gonna get that commander, and no one is gonna get like secondary base commander like Liu Che or Bai Chi, troop specific commanders, right? So the troop specific commanders will start to like not make any sense if they release powerful leadership open field commander. So I don't think Even in garrison, I don't think that's gonna happen. So leadership commanders are always going to be one tier below what troop specific commanders are gonna be. That's what I think. Otherwise it will not make any sense. It just doesn't make sense. So else Baichi, Alci, William Wallace, Ivar. Because they have same stats, yeah, this is same. We don't have to do this. They all have same stats. So the equipment is all same. We have already calculated the best equipment, so no need. I guess we have the equipments here anyways, but I will fix this very soon. Let me just delete this. Maybe here. Okay. Now, who am I missing again? Arthur Achilles, right? I'm missing Arthur and Achilles. By the way, guys, I did find a cavalry equipment that can be quite decent. I think it was better than this one. We shall see. All right, so in terms of Sun Tzu Prime, this is the best set that I recommend. The second best set is, I do recommend this one, but we will take a look into the third best set. Oh, GG Achilles or Achilles GG. Oh yes. I completely forgot about Kankam-chan. I forgot about that. Yes, we gotta add that. Yes. What else did I forget? Tercio is better than Echolon. All troop type can use the stats. But Tercio formation is only working in city garrison. So whenever the user is garrisoned in your city, right? Then yes, but on open field, this is not working. So Tercio and Echelon have completely two different purposes. Don't forget about the Hector. Oh yeah, Hector, who should we add? I think we should add Hector in the rally, like garrison section, right? David Hector. I think we should add that. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same though. What am I missing? What pairing am I missing? We could definitely add Hector. Let's see. David Hector, right? Let me just do this. David Hector. Maybe. John Primary or Philip Primary? Probably John Primary, because if Philip Primary, that means your equipment needs to be critted for leadership while having cavalry equipment, right? So you don't really have that, so it's better to just run John Primary and have cavalry equipment critted for cavalry. Arthur Hector in open field. Arthur Hector sucks, right? Isn't them sucks? They're like so bad. Here I am trying to include marches that are only really good on open field. Otherwise, we can include many different options, but it's gonna... It's like way too many options, right? Arthur Hector is not that good in my opinion, but I've never tested this. Arthur David is like much better. Oh my god, wait a second. I should definitely add Arthur and David though. I mean, Cavalry does have just one equipment. Arthur David is really good. Achilles David as well. Nah, Achilles. Nah, I'm not gonna add that. Achilles, if you are running Arthur David, then you are running GG Achilles anyways. Or Achilles GG. So I'm not gonna add. Let's just try to keep things a little bit tidy. Finally, someone talk about Echelon on open field. Leaving my first comment here. Hey, va. Welcome, man. Welcome. If you're running 6 march, would you want to run 4 horn, 4 drums, or 5 horn, 3 drums? I would choose horn always. Horn is never going to replace drums. No, drums is never gonna replace horns. So I would have horn on all of my marches, except Qin Shi Huan cannot, you know, Qin Shi Huan don't need to have horn, but he can still benefit. But horn is number 1 on all of my marches, no matter who they are. Horn number 1, and then I would add drums on top of that. So it's gonna be like 5 horn, 3 drum option. And 3 of those drums, I would put 2 of them on cavalry, combo cavalry marches. Gorgo Hector. Oh yeah, Gorgo Hector is also can be an option. That is true. Is it better than Gorgo Heracles though? Gorgo Hector is better than Gorgo Heracles. If I want to run leadership crit gear, Echelon armaments with archer stats, what's your recommended combo? Probably Shajar Philip. I would do that. Wait, leadership crit gear. So it's gonna be Philip Shajar. That's the only option. Philip Shajar. Yeah, Philip. Maybe I could run Trajan Shajar as well. But yeah, I would run Philip because Philip has a chance to cast his skill again. So that's more rage. Arthur Hector is better than Arthur David depending on how many combo commanders are on the field, but in just one march comparison though. What? No way! I don't think Arthur Hector ever going to beat Arthur David in open field, no matter, regardless of the scenario. David is just purely doing AoE damage, right? I mean, Hector does give some tanky stats as well. Maybe that balances out. Arthur does need the tanky stats, but David does have decent stats as well. 35% defense. Yo, ZKX, what's up, man? Horn or ring, which is better? Always, guys, always horn. Horn is #1 priority on the field. Ring is #1 priority on the rally garrison, but horn is #1 priority on the field. So always craft horn first. I'm FTP, should I just spend money to get the last legendary boots for Archer March? It is up to you, man. It is up to you if you want to spend or not. I definitely don't recommend spending if you are on a tight budget, right? If you're an active player, so long as you're playing, your account will develop anyways. So you just gotta play smart, and even if you're FTP, you should be fine. You just gotta play like a less March. Feel free to run in the simulator, but my alt is cap, man. We don't have open field simulator though. I can't send another $50 due to error. Wish I could support. Man, Dionko, I appreciate you, man. It is enough that you have super chatted too big amount. Thank you so much, man. It is enough. It's enough, man. It's a big support. I appreciate you. Could you calculate stats difference between leadership gear and cap gear? I actually did calculate that before. It was around 20%. That is when I was coaching PTI's account. Yeah, here is the calculation that I have already did. So PTI had 7 marches, but 7th march was leadership gear, right? As you guys can see here. Leadership gear. But the problem with leadership gear is you don't know who to crit. You are critting your leadership for leadership, right? Mixed troop type. So when you are putting it on like 7th march, for example, Liu Che or whatever, they are not fully benefiting this. So the difference of having like a leadership gear that fits all versus one specific troop gear, it was around like 20% difference. No, it's actually 12%. Trait effectiveness goes up to 12%. So in reality, if you see the report, your report is gonna be looking like a 24% increase or something like that. So you are becoming 12% more effective or powerful. That means your report is gonna be looking even more increase. So yeah, I did some type of analysis when I was looking at PTI's account. Let me see who else I miss. Arthur Hector is commonly in the meta as a second half right now. Okay, so we shall include that. I accept your... I have accept. So Arthur Hector. I'm not sure if I exactly calculated Arthur Hector, but we shall see. David Hector. Guys, Gorgo Hector. Is it Gorgo Hector better than Gorgo Heracles? Oh my god, Kodali. Thank you for your videos. My pleasure, Kodali, and also appreciate you for the big support. Super chat. Much love, man. Guys, appreciate you for the support for today. Thanks, I'll keep grinding. I have Max Chinchuan with Zhugulian at 5511. Do you think the next Archer Commander will pair with Chinchuan or just Max Zhugulian and pair him? Please wait on investing more into Zhugulian. Currently, I do not know if the next commander is gonna be a really good pair for Chinchuan or not. We just have to wait and see. But it is worth to wait and see, my guy. Please don't invest any golden heads on him. Just wait, and we shall see once the new commander arrives. Gorgo Hector is better than Gorgo Hera. Shapur shuts down Hera's shield, rendering it ineffective. Okay, that is good enough reason. Thank you so much. I'll add it. I don't think I have calculated Gorgo Hector, but we shall add it. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Who else? Who else are we missing? Again, Kodali, appreciate you for the super chat. Okay, so I think we are done. I mean, if you guys remember a pair, just let me know in the chat. We have much work to do. Let's start from, let's see, we are starting from, yeah, from here. Where's my, here. So let me check Sun Tzu Prime. Yeah, they're the same here. So did I have that or not? I mean, there was one option here. Wait a second. Wait a second. What the hell is this gear? What? There's no way. Oh no, this. Wait, what? Wait. So here, right, I could recommend statistically optimized gear, but I usually recommend movement speed gear here. I usually do that on open field. But what the hell is this gear? Wait, why is this stat is so good? No. I think we. No. We. Wait a second. Wait, guys. I think there is some sort of so. Q172. Yeah, this one. What? Why is my calculation is messed up? Oh man, now we need to do some troubleshooting. My calculation is messed up. What? Why? Orgo CY artifact. Yeah, we could do that. For infantry, right? Oh yeah, Tilla David as well. We did add David Hector, right? Did we add David Hector? No, here. Yeah, we did add David Hector, but we did not add Attila David. The gear is gonna be same though. Attila David. It's gonna be the same. Gorgo CY for infantry. Okay. Wait, I need to do this because I need to mark Gorgo Hector. We did not do that. Gorgo Heracles was already there. You are blah blah blah. This was here. Subete. Yeah, this wasn't here. I'll just delete this. I need to mark which one I added because I'm just copying and pasting. I'm thinking about building a leadership gear set because we can put any commander behind Philip, making it so much more versatile. My main worry is the armament stat troop type. Yeah, that is the problem, man. That is the problem. Leadership gear is not gonna perform as good as troop specific gear, so you just gotta choose which one you wanna run as a 7th March. Is it gonna be cavalry, infantry, or archer? You just need to choose and then just commit to that. Equipment wise, it is gonna be that troop type equipment and credit for that troop type equipment. I think that's gonna be the best.
Let him cook now.
Oh my goodness, Dionko is going, oh my god. My man, I appreciate you. Wanted to support your channel since last year. Gosh darn it, I appreciate you, man, for the support. Much love. You're going crazy, my guy. Appreciate you. Leadership gear could also be used for city garrison, super versatile. That is true. That is actually true. Leadership gear can be used for city garrison. On open field, it's like a little bit iffy. Well, I guess like you could. Yeah, it's gonna be on open field. It's gonna be suboptimal because on city you are critting it for mixed troop type, which is you are critting it for leadership. So whichever you use on open field, it's gonna be suboptimal unless the primary commander is gonna be leadership commander like Philip. But still, it's gonna be a little bit suboptimal though. The Singaporeans are going ham this evening. Yeah, Dionko, my guy, I appreciate you, man. It's a huge support for the channel. What about the potential of for extra tankiness for Philip for using two troop type? When you are using more troop type, you are gaining more march speed, but you are sacrificing the damage bonus, right? You are gaining march speed and tankiness, but you are sacrificing the damage. I mean, since I think it depends on what commander you are pairing as him as a secondary. If the second commander is doing damage, then you probably wanna try to get the 10% more damage. But if both of your marches are really squishy, then you could try to like balance it out. This can be a versatile option, right? If your Philip March is feeling a little bit squishy, then you are adding one troop type to make it a little bit faster and gain a little bit more tankiness, and sacrifice you are doing less damage. But if the tankiness is okay with the second pair, whoever you are pairing, for example Shajar, right? Shajar is tanky enough, so you can just run one troop type and try to do some more damage. So it depends. Just a little bit late, but I'm thinking Echolon for Philips plus Shajar 2, 25 rage affected is good. Yeah, Philip Shajar is decent. It's gonna fill your hospital quite hard, but yeah, for 7 March setup, Echelon is actually, I would go for Echelon formation for 7 March, 100%. All right, we are going back. We are going back to the library section. Wait, we need to troubleshoot. Where did I... What is happening? Yeah, there's something wrong with this gear. Wait. Hold on, Sun Tzu Hector. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is... Yeah, the stats were wrong. HP 0, right? Let's see. So 30 through 3. I think I was just testing a different gear. Guys, on open field, I don't think I need to include the statistically optimized gear, right? This gear is the best. This gear is actually performing not that great though. Guys, there's something wrong with my calculation. Why is all of the HP has gone to 0? Here as well. What the heck happened here? Did I get hacked or something? Why the HP 0? This is very interesting. So this gear is that gear, right? Let's see. Yeah, okay, so this is fine. So these two were messed up. I have no idea what was the problem. Let me check out this one. 3375. Yeah, now it's looking all right. What exactly in the world weird thing happened? I blame your cat. My cat hacked your sheet. Yeah, this is very, very weird. Maybe I was just testing the impact of the HP or something like that, and I forgot to change it back. So now if you go ahead and check out that gear, which was like looking... Yeah, this gear, right? Yeah, now, yeah, there we go. This is what I'm talking about now. This is looking correct. It was insane that this gear was performing equal in trade potential, and then more tanky. Little bit less tanky. That was insane. This is what I'm talking. This is okay. So I really hope that my stuff is not messed up. This was messed up. So where's that gear? Oh, not this one. Where's the movement speed gear? Yeah. So this is the best gear. This is the second best gear. This one, should I recommend this one though? This is... Is this recommendable? No, this gear is not recommendable. Oh my gosh. Let's see, okay. I guess I could recommend the statistically optimized gear, which is this one, as a third option. Yeah, this is right. That is the gear. How do I change my name? You mean on YouTube? On YouTube, you go to your channel settings and then you can change your name. But be careful, you cannot really change it that often. I think you can change it only once per like 3 months or something like that, if I remember correctly. Hi Chef, great stuff. What is the best accessory for Sun Tzu? Horn and ring? Yes, horn and ring. Horn and Greatest Glory also works, and horn and drums can also work if you are in a drum gang. Did you dismantle the event or you get dismantled blueprint back? Do you get the dismantled blueprint back? I don't know. Do you get the blueprints back? I haven't dismantled yet. I don't have enough gems, so I am just waiting. I will be doing that event later. I'm gonna get some more gems meanwhile. Look at my cat, man. He's loafed up. I think he's still sleepy, but I don't know what he's doing. His ears are pointed at me, so he is listening to me, I think. He's paying attention to me. Look at this. This is where I am, right? His ears are pointed at me. Only materials, no blueprints. Okay. Thanks for the information, man. Alright. Nah, man, I will not recommend statistically optimized gear. Maybe I will. But then again, like, all the other, I have never really recommended this stat optimized gear though. It is kind of weird. Stat optimized but no MS. You can change your handle once every 2 weeks. Ah, that's a proper loaf right there. Yes, indeed. Your cat is listening to your calculation and the error checking it for you. All right, so now where's the other set? We gotta find the numbers. So this is what I do. I just find the average. Oh. And then 100%, what's this? So copy this. This is the total trade effectiveness. But man, this is getting compared to the best set. So statistically, this is MS option more damage. MS option less but bit tanky. Where's that? Where is our movement speed set? Yeah, there we go. Alright, Sun Prime is done. So done. Now we gotta go ahead and check out the cavalry, which is the equipment that are gonna be all the same, but we just upgrade. They're gonna need to upgrade the percentages. I was thinking of leadership buffing March, that way I can just slap any commander behind it, and not worry about the meta buff, but the armament troop stats. Oh yeah, man, everybody, yeah. So in that case, what I'm recommending right now is you are choosing one troop type, right? And then in terms of your gear, I would highly recommend just troop specific gear. And then just choose one troop type, maybe cavalry, and then you are sticking with that. Otherwise, if you do like leadership set, you can slap any commander and any troop type and blah. But that also, the problem arises with the Echelon stats, right? The armament stats. So yeah, I guess you just need to choose one troop. And cavalry maybe because cavalry is faster unit. What's going on? I just spawned. We analyzed Echolon. Now we are updating our equipment cooker tool. Is GG and Ring good for Qin? Ring is very good. GG is useless on Qin Shi Huan. I need to blow my nose, you guys. I will be right back. And also bring myself some drink. BRB. I'm back. Give me a second. Man, my cat is now trying to drink from my water that I just got. Look at this dude. He wants cuddles. Nah, man, he is so not affectionate. He doesn't want cuddles at all. He's like so not affectionate at all. Is this no? That's not correct. Let's try to fix this. Ah, it's still not correct. All right, I think we're back. Are we back? Is this where it was? Okay. All right. Arthur Achilles. Now let's go ahead and check out Arthur Achilles. We also did the calculation. Oh yeah. There was one new equipment that I was looking for. Should I recommend this equipment, you guys? He only cuddles when you get KP and proper Kraken level. Now he doesn't want cuddles at all. Nah, this is not good. I would rather recommend this. It's good. Yeah, so the number one gear is still this. Number two gear is still this, and this is the cheapest option. So it's the same. Ah, wait a second. I see. But I do want to recommend this though. I think everybody is gonna be the same, man. Gee, let me just do this, save some time, and we will double check them later. Do not worry about overraging, given how newer commanders have rage engine mechanics in them. Will Lilith introduce more rage mechanics in the skill to encourage players to run other accessories? I don't worry about overraging, especially on open field. There are so many rage reduction effects happening on open field. It is not even funny anymore. So now you are trying to stack as much rage as possible on open field. I feel like that. I feel like that is the play. I recommend go ahead to check out Seawheel's video. He made a very very short 2 or 3 minute video the latest video, right? There you are seeing how the rage reduction effect is happening on open field. It's just insane. You are supposed to have 7 or 8 seconds of skill cycle, but in reality you're having like 9, 10, or 11 seconds of skill cycle. Hey, Arthur Achilles, Arthur Achilles, Arthur Achilles, Arthur Achilles. Guys, just one question. Does this number actually need it? Do you guys like seeing this number? I'm kind of feeling lazy though. Like, what happens if we just delete this section? It's gonna be much easier. Can I? Yeah. So wow. So how? What if it's like this? I mean, if it has a number, it's kind of like a really nice, right? You know exactly how much percentage it's being tanky or something like that. But what do you guys think about this? As chef is more than chef, sorry Belict. Yes, I agree. Sometimes my cats also like eat like better. I feed my cats like the best food, and sometimes I just myself eat like a shit. That's fine. So yeah, my cats are more better chefs. I mean, I have a degrees in math. Are you really asking me, do you like to see numbers? What about others, man? What about others? I feel like I'm not the target audience for these sheets, though. I saw that video too. There is no sense to build any other accessory other than horn and drums. Then that is just so boring. Man, what's so boring about it, man? Generating more rage, stomping your enemy. Eventually, the min-max culture. The min-max culture goes into like, you know, it's kind of like min-max culture, right? But if you wanna go like instead of crafting horn and drums, you can go for horn and ring builds, and then instead of the ring, you can go for health, grace, glory, and everything, right? If you don't really mind the efficiency, yeah, they are still gonna work, but anyhow you do like horn is like kind of like a must craft though, so there is no negotiation with the horn. The second accessory, you can build whatever you want depending on what you want. I think those two rows are useful for those who want some data specific, but I think most will be just satisfied knowing what the gear to use. Yeah, but for me, like if I like see this, I'm like, okay, I understand. Like this is looking more legit. But if I just hide this, then what is the purpose, right? Which is why I made these numbers. Otherwise, I have already did the calculation anyway, so it's just a little bit extra work for me. I was just trying to save some time. Okay, RG library. Let's see. This is pre-bis and this is second best. And let me check the data. Oh, copy this here. That is the total effectiveness, right? Yes. And this is the tankiness. This is getting automatically well, let me see. Oh yeah, this is getting automatically updated, so this is good. Now prebis, let me get the prebis data number. The prebis is actually oh yeah, I'm using blue helmet and purple weapon, but it is still slightly ever so slightly tanky because both of these are giving me defense, but these weapons are giving me attack stats, right? So which is why. There you go. I think yeah, cavalry is like very simple. You don't really have much options. Everything is kind of like simple. Not that much of an option right here. Cavalry, archer and infantry always gets complicated, but cavalry is simple. So we are looking at GG Achilles and Arthur David. Have I calculated that? If I haven't calculated that, we are gonna skip it for today because it's kind of getting late for me as well. We can always do it next time. Let's see. I did calculate Attila Achilles, which I did have the Attila Achilles is there. GG Achilles, Arthur David, Arthur Hector. I swear I have I should have calculated that. Arthur Bertrand, Arthur Philip, Arthur William. No, I actually haven't really calculated that. Kankam-chan as well, I don't think I have calculated that. Let's see. Tankiness effect, do you include other stuff as well? No, I don't include. I only calculate the HP attack defense. I only do that. So this previous gear, right? If these guys are getting awakened, these are probably gonna be much better than the previous gear because you cannot really awaken the blue and purple. This is just purely from the stats. That's stats wise. So yeah, it's purely stats. Let's see, I opened a debate on Kitchen Group about gold chest equipment and how fast we can refine and awaken, so calculation might be different for a full 5 refined set. Yeah, definitely the gold key gear are very useful, right? But at the same time, throttle neck is also being the materials as well. Let's see. Man, on... Yeah, for example, here I'm suggesting this. Man, I don't recommend the gold key chest and clothes though. But lately I am recommending that just because they are gold key chest and clothes and they actually bring similar results like this, right? Instead of the set chest here, a gold key chest and gold key clothes is best. I mean, there are some other options here, right? So the equipment cooker tool is not really 100% representing all of the options that you have. That is the problem. So the people are seeing like people go here and use the equipment cooker tool and then see, okay, this is the absolute only equipment that you can use. That's the idea that they're getting. But in reality, there could be many different options than this. And the equipment cooker tool is not really being able to represent everything. It's not being able to do that. Is equipment cooker tool, how useful is this for you guys? How been useful for you this? I loved bus drivers theory crafting. Will you be doing those type of videos as well? What kind of theory crafting? We also do live stream where we theory craft the upcoming commander as well. That is the only theory crafting that we do in terms of commanders. And some of my videos also based on theory crafting, especially whenever there is a new release of a commander, right? The details get released. We immediately analyze the stats and theory craft who is going to be best, what is the gear, what is the talent build, equipment and everything. So our videos mostly actually based on theory crafting, and plus we verify that with testings. So if you see my videos, like everything is based on damage formula calculation, like every video based on calculation, theory crafting and testing. I don't use it for me, but I love the link that people are asking me questions. Yeah, I have been getting a lot of comments about me updating the equipment cooker tool, right? So that means people do use this. But I wonder, I'm questioning how helpful is this? There are other options, could be potentially, but like if you imagine like completely new player going and using this, and then they're like selecting a pair, and then I'm like, okay, so this is the best set, so I must craft this. But there are some other options as well. For example, gold key, chest and gloves. I use cooker tool for info recommendation rather than a hard rule. I see. Can you show for Gorgo Toku? I think I have Gorgo Toku here. There you go. Equipment cooker tool, I do have Gorgo Tokugawa. Works much better than any time anyone asks me anything. I say depends. Bus driver did a video about dagger. He recommended having 2 daggers and how sometimes the debuff stacks. Yeah, I do remember that video. He was also talking about if one is crit and the other one is not crit. He was explaining the mechanics, right? I forgot what was the exact mechanics. Yeah, boxing, I think I do the similar videos. I made a video about drums as well, theory crafting drums. Like I do Commander mathematics videos, how things are working, right? Lucia mathematics and such. So yeah, I would say all of my videos are theory crafting plus like testing. I try to, not try to, but usually I just verify my theory crafting with testing. So all of this equipment calculation right here, right? This has been verified by testing early days. So I know that my calculation of the equipment is working 100%. So this is all of these numbers that you see here, right? All of the numbers you see here, they have been test proven like a year ago. So that's why I don't have to test this again. But this is also like, yeah, I would say a lot of my stuff is theory crafting. Oh my god, Boxing Bull is coming in with the super chat. Love the math behind your channel. Appreciate you, man. Much love. Thanks for the support. My guy, you guys are going crazy tonight. Much appreciated, man. I'm feeling a lot of love and support. I mean, you guys are always supportive, guys. Regardless, you guys, you know, super chat or not, very supportive. I love my community, guys. I love the community that I'm actually creating here. Everybody is like trying to understand the game and like just enjoy becoming better at the game, right? Much love, you guys. It's insane support that I'm receiving today. It is in line with your theory about Scipio Prime regarding his health debuff. If he stack dagger debuff on top of Scipio Prime debuff, will the dagger be worth it? I mean, the thing is that there is a very big problem with dagger, and that problem is it is very hard to keep up with the stacks. That is the main problem. If you are a hard swarmer, then having dagger might be quite good, right? If you swarm flags or forts or whatever, could be useful, especially if you put dagger on combo commanders. They will be stacking this quite well. And 5%, if it's crit, it's gonna be 6.5%. Can stack up to 3 times. So let's say it's 15%, right? But the duration is only 3 seconds. So you just gotta keep stacking it every 3 seconds, which combo marches could achieve it quite decent, all right, as compared to normal marches, because this chance will be more. But the thing is that this 3 second of window is like, okay, you're fighting enemy and then you go back, right? In 1 second, you just in the 1 second, you end up not reaching the target. So 1 second, and if you reach back, that's already 1 second and 1 second. So that's already 2 seconds. So if you're losing 1 second of time touching the enemy, that's already 2 seconds, because you if you go back 1 second, then you need to have 1 second to go back and engage, right? That's already 2 seconds. And then you have already only 1 second left to keep adding stacks with 30% of chance. So on open field, because it's very, very hectic, this is not it's quite hard. And also there's a chance that for example, very big balls, the target you're attacking essentially gets one-shotted, or that target dies in like few seconds, right? So how that the dagger is given its value if the target is already like dying instantaneously. So on open field, because of that many issue, dagger is not being all too well. However, again, there could be some application when you are a very hard swarmer. I would actually consider putting dagger on one of my combo march if I swarm things a lot. For example, if you are Mr. Hope and Wild Lion, then dagger would certainly might be within my accessory list. One dagger, because if I'm not going away from the target, and if I'm keep engaged with the target, then I can keep up with this stack, especially with combo marches. And then this 15% debuff is going to benefit all of my 7 marches that swarm in that target. Not to mention that more 3 or 4 marches also swarm in that flag as well, right? So essentially, if 10 march is swarming, then 10 of total, you are reducing 15% HP, and that 15% HP reduction is benefiting all 10 marches. And 15% HP reduction is approximately like 7 or 8 percent damage increase, and it doesn't have a diminishing return with bonuses. So it could be better than Greatest Glory or Pendant when you are swarming things with multiple marches. So yes. What about accessories, bro? Yeah, accessories. That's also a thing, right? I haven't really added accessories. I made a video about accessories, but I have not really added in the equipment cooker tool, though. I'll think about it. What are the calculations on Arthur David March? I don't think I have calculated Arthur David. Let's see. What are we missing? Yeah, we are missing the last spots of the Arthur David. We are kind of missing. We know what gear it's gonna be. It's gonna be the same, but it's just the percentages that we haven't calculated it. I can calculate it really soon, but I'm feeling like maybe I will do it later. Getting a little bit tired. So yeah, I have decided that I think it's about time for me to end the stream, man. I'm gonna go rest. I'm feeling a little bit tired, and I will update it after update this next time. So Arthur, GG Achilles, this section are missing. We know the gear anyways. I just need to calculate the percentages, and then we have quite a bit of work to do in terms of rally gears. So I shall dedicate another live stream just for this, because I feel like we have some work to do. Anyways, guys, thank you again so much for watching. I am going to call it off for today's stream. Let me see who else is streaming and see if we can rate someone else before I go. No one else is streaming, unfortunately. Efren is streaming, but he speaks Spanish, so I don't think I have been rating Efren, but it's not being much. Sherry, no worries, my guys. I will do the Arthur David and everything later. I'm feeling a little bit tired, so thank you guys so much for watching and much love for all of the support and everything. And also, if you are new to the channel, do not forget to subscribe and leave a like, and I'll catch you guys next time. I'll probably stream tomorrow. Wait, when is the Pass 7 of the big KK happening right now? Is it tomorrow? Car? When is your Pass 7? If Pass 7 opens tomorrow, I cannot really stream because a lot of people gonna be streaming. I might do it off stream. No, this is not the correct KK. Wait. 606. Yeah, this is the KK that I'm looking for. Man. Oh god. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see, man. I might stream tomorrow. Again, thank you guys. Peace.